They haven't seen Victor in person. They're seeing something.
It's a meeting between these two teams this year. The last time they met was about a year ago on Wembanyama's birthday, but Giannis and the Bucks spoiled the party.
Which and Andre Jackson Jr. had to
creating an environment for him that doesn't stifle his creativity. Castle getting creative. The putback.
And he timed it out better than Giannis did. That was an odd bounce, but he timed it very, very well. I guess it's a little easier to time it out when your arms go forever.
Antetokounmpo probing, turns it over to Vassell.
You know, before the game, Mark, where you're just watching, Wembanyama touched the top of the backboard. I've never seen a player do that.
He is a unique breed. One of one. Vassell on the probe. Had it blocked by Brook Lopez, and it comes off to Lillard. Lillard coming off a good shooting night in Toronto a couple of nights ago where he had 25. Giannis against Harrison Barnes. And
and that actually happened against Toronto to Giannis in a chase down block. He cut his finger on the wrist.
Aim to the side for Castle, drives it on Lillard. Good help defense by Lopez, and that's going to
drive the ball. But you're right, that was really good help defense by Brook Lopez. Lopez setting a step-up screen for Lillard, and he can pick and pop off that.
Lillard off the mark with the three. Here's Wembanyama. That one-legged three ball.
He pulled up basically from the logo, gave a shot fake, and Andre Jackson Jr. flew right by. And he's got that shot credibility even from 27 feet.
Always a threat. Lopez put Wembanyama in the air, and Jackson missed the alley-oop. Back comes Chris Paul. Chris Paul was clutch. He was excellent, brilliant a couple of nights ago down the stretch against Chicago. Finds Barnes, and that one rims out.
Yeah, Chris Paul had 18 points in that game against Chicago. And you're right, down the stretch, he was the only guy scoring for San Antonio.
So in transition, Jay, Castle gets matched up against Giannis.
Block shots against the Bulls.
Antetokounmpo.
And don't you think this season he's played with an edge?
You can see it. Doc Rivers challenged him in training camp to get back to that defensive player of the year level of defense. And he's responded in kind. Here's Castle off the wide action. Paul finds him again. And rebounded by Giannis.
Now, Castle is not a great shooter yet. He's shooting under 30% from three. But he doesn't hesitate when he gets a good shot to put it up.
Speaking of,
he improved. He's shooting 55% between 10 and 16 feet. And that's going to be significant, Mark, when we get to the playoffs, because he's going to have to shoot a lot more of those. Defenses are really going to load up on him in the playoffs.
There's Wemby firing from deep off the mark, rebounded by Chris Paul. Barnes one more to Castle. Castle probes. And he left that one on the front rim. Here's Dame Lillard. Dame making that transition in the adjustment to playing without the ball a little bit more, with the ball in Giannis's hands. Here's Lopez, got it.
Especially of late. At 16 points against Toronto, was 4 of 8. They call him Splash Mountain. They've got some really good nicknames on this.
Yeah, they
team.
do. It's a good three-point shooters. Wembanyama has that come off. A lot of shooting this year around Giannis. Lillard, one of those guys. Barnes switches on to him. Giannis has the mismatch. They double team it. Dame left open. That one halfway down and out, and Vassell with the board.
And even opposite, Brook Lopez was spotting up from about 25 feet.
Here's Vassell. 21 games of the season, coming off of a foot injury.
Vassell needed that one to go. He hasn't been shooting the ball as well as he's capable of lately. He's 3 of his last 23 from 3 before that one.
Leads the break. Castle! Oh!
Forced it in. He is super athletic and strong.
Getting the start tonight in place of Jeremy Sohan. So we see Wembanyama, Jay, able to roam defensively.
And there's so many outstanding three-point shooters. And Brook Lopez, in their game against Toronto, hit his 1,000th three of his career. Talk about a guy who's transformed his game completely from when he got to the league to now.
That started in Brooklyn under Kenny Atkinson. Here's CP3 back out to Wembanyama. Nice show and go. Raises up on Giannis. From Wemby.
Not just elite skill, but elite feel.
Dame passed it back out. Got tipped into the backcourt. Shot clock is down to 10. Lopez has scored the last 6 for the Bucks. Torian Prince knocks down the...
That he does, not just on the floor, guys. He said whether it's playing chess or even if you wanted to play him at ping pong, if you beat him at anything, for example, he'd go out and buy a ping pong table and come back, master that, and beat you. That's the type of laser focus that Victor Wembanyama has about the game of basketball, and anything he does, he wants to be the best.
Yeah, great point, George. A voracious appetite for competition. Here's Giannis from outside. There's Harrison Barnes into the front court. Barnes has meant so much, as George alluded to the Spurs team, one of the younger rosters. Here he is on the roll against Prince. Inside, knocks it, and takes on tough defensive assignments like tonight.
And always uses the glass very well. Another great corner shooter, top 10 in the NBA. But both he and Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, have been great leaders for the San Antonio team. They needed that.
Dame was looking to draw the foul, and 17-15, Spurs with the lead. I like the fact, if you're Milwaukee, you see Andre Jackson pressuring Chris Paul almost the full 94 feet.
Well, it makes it more difficult for Paul, but it also takes time off the clock. That's less time.
Charles Bassey knocks home that shot. 4-point lead for San Antonio. That's the midway point of the first quarter. Giannis cross court to Lopez. Tried to spray it to the corner to Prince. It's trying to still work him into condition, still on a minutes restriction. Inside for Antetokounmpo, fouled on. Key part of Greg Buckner's defense. Kyrie and Luka, they've dropped 5. Yep. Nice bounce back win for them. Bassey out top. Vassell on the drive. And Lillard with the board.
Well, Vassell didn't get that to go, but he's gotten off to a good start in this game. And defensively, he's done a good job.
Chris Middleton.
Too much help on Dame Lillard and left Chris Middleton wide open. And with Chris Middleton's history, you don't want to do that often.
A lethal mid-range and a long-range shooter.
When Champagnie catches the ball in the corner, that's like a layup to him. He shoots such a high percentage on corner threes, especially catch and shoot. Lillard sent from 3.
A.J. Green knocking that they put around Antetokounmpo. It has been lethal of late as they knock the game at 22.
Well, Green shoots 45% from 3. That's 3rd in the league.
What a great story he is out of Northern Iowa. Undrafted a few years ago. Here's Giannis leading the break.
And Giannis saw him the whole way.
Found him too.
Almost like a quarterback that was not wanting to give away his second read, but that was his first read. What a great pass.
Jones on the drive. Vassell drives the closeout. Jones one more to a wide open Keldon Johnson, and rebounded by Portis.
Boy, they didn't get it to go, but San Antonio got a piece of the paint and then swing for a wide open 3.
They swing it to Portis here at the other end. This Milwaukee defense much improved from a season ago. They're up to number 10 in defensive rating. Good rim protection right there. But San Antonio with another opportunity. Johnson back out top to Vassell.
Keldon Johnson looks like a different player this year.
Jay told me that he lost 30 pounds as Vassell was a little light on that shot, but Johnson is down to about 8% body fat after hiring a chef. But it's playoffs and all the important moments in it.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And talking to Doc Rivers today, he said something I thought was really interesting about, hey, we're not playing right. We're not taking the right approach. There's been frustration. There's no presence on defense, things like that. But I think they feel really confident that if they are healthy and playing well at the end of the year, that they can really do some damage in the playoffs.
Yeah, we saw the heightened intensity from Giannis and from Dame Lillard. Giannis with the offensive run. They lead it by 7.
Yeah, Wembanyama was right there, but Giannis just discarded him out of the play.
Into the corner, Keldon Johnson driving on Portis. Got to the paying dividends. He's got his first bucket.
And because Giannis has to be all the way out there with Wembanyama, there's no rim protection there. Lopez out of the game.
Wembanyama will bring it across.
How many times do you see a 7'4", 7'5" guy bringing the ball up court?
A lot of people putting their minds around it still.
And you feel good about it.
They talk about letting him remain creative with limited guardrails. Castle on the baseline. And off the miss, here's Middleton. Chris Middleton's minutes restriction right around 22, 23 minutes. Giannis going to walk down Champagnie. Antetokounmpo in double-digit scoring with 11.
You'll mark that last possession. Wembanyama had Gary Trent Jr. switched off on him. He's got to get the ball in the post there. He's been much more decisive to just turn and shoot over.
Chamberlain knocks down his second three-ball. Green, it'll count.
Browns, if they make shots, it makes it tough. I think they made 6 or 7 threes. That's a little bit what we're trying to do, take away the rim. So a couple of other things, we didn't navigate a switch well. We gave up offensive rebound, transition, we didn't get back. Some of those little things, the threes exacerbate.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Mitch Johnson, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. In lieu of Coach Greg Popovich, who's still a pointer. That's his third one in as many tries, and the lead is back to down to 3.
And Champagnie so quick from the catch to the release.
But a great story here is Dame left it on the front rim. Spurs out and running. They got a 3-on-2. Keldon Johnson through the contact.
It's basically in replay to
seamless adjustment. He was the leading scorer on a team that didn't win many games.
They averaged 22 a game in 2023 pre-Wemby.
Trey Jones with a nice hit ahead to Castle. Skips through, missed the layup, but drew.
34 threes on the year, but he's only shooting 26-27% from for UConn. But he's got the ball in his hands much more now than he did playing for Dan Hurley.
Well, they might have him on the Kawhi Leonard program here. And we know how that worked out to the bucket. That's his first field goal in his 10 minutes of play. And Milwaukee back up by 2.
Well, Kawhi Leonard had the benefit of Chip Englund, who's now with Oklahoma City, one of the best shooting coaches in the game.
By Bobby Portis. So with Giannis on the bench, Dame usually taking the opportunity to get going. Lopez on the pick.
That's really difficult for Wembanyama. Give help on the ball, and then you got to recover out to Lopez, who shoots it so well from so far out.
Champagnie putting it on the deck, working against Middleton. Portis switches on to him. Middleton on the switch has Wembanyama. 15-footer comes off to Lopez. So the Bucks get a stop, the number 10 rated defense in the NBA this year.
Yeah, really, it's been some offensive issues for Milwaukee this year. Didn't think that was going to be a problem. But defensively, they performed at a pretty high level.
Lopez from the free throw line. And here's Trey Jones. Finds Castle. Little float game is good. Point lead. This is the first of 4 games on the road for the San Antonio Spurs. After this game, they'll fly to Los Angeles, which is at the center of a lot of news right now because of the nature cataclysm that's happening right there with the fires. Off the steal, Wembanyama. Good catch by Johnson. Wemby for 3.
And steal, though, on the other end by Wembanyama. Came over as a double-teaming big guy and took the ball away.
Just turned 21 years old several days ago, folks. Portis on the drive. Has it come off to Johnson. San Antonio has numbers if they want it. Here's Mamu at an open 3. Defers to Champagnie. And that's one of his rare misses from deep. Trent Jr. one more to Lopez. Some chase action. Trent Jr. gets it back. Wemby switches onto him. Portis with the mismatch. Missed it inside after having a good look.
Tried to go at the basket with Wembanyama out on the perimeter.
Oh, Champagnie got peeled clean. Long outlet to Prince. Cross court. And Dame gonna run things. Spits it back out to Prince. And he left that 3 on the floor.
Lopez has been open a couple times for threes, and Milwaukee just hasn't found him.
Milwaukee's three-point shooting right now, 7 of 16. Johnson spins on Lopez. Class really impactful at both ends of the floor. Brook Lopez, a guy that's often overlooked when you stare down the roster. Lillard
first, then popping out to the line.
Milwaukee leading by 4. Champagnie being guarded by Lillard. Wembanyama against Giannis. Shot clock down to 4. Giannis being extremely physical, got a piece of it. Here's Mamu at the end of the shot clock, off by the Bucks.
Boy, what a different look for Milwaukee out of that last time out with all that ball pressure.
And Antetokounmpo couldn't get the lefty layup to go. A little bit strong. Here's Chris Paul.
And since he was out for those 4 games, part of it with that illness, you know, Giannis has not finished as well around the basket as he had earlier in the season.
That's a great point, James. To think that he for 60% from the field is pretty amazing.
It's remarkable, really. But that illness took a lot out of him. He's still at a little bit of a deficit, as is, and a bad shot at the end of the clock.
Lakers as Dame knocked the Milwaukee Bucks roster in the immediate aftermath of their Emirates NBA Cup championship victory. Off the miss, it's Prince with the rebound. It really had its toll on their 2 stars in particular, Lillard and Giannis, who are just now still getting back to form. Lillard sprays his way through the second quarter. Both teams taking pretty good care of the basketball, just 3 turnovers each. And Antetokounmpo with another rebound. He'll bring it across. Lopez with a deep 3. And Barnes with the rebound.
Well, he didn't get that to go, but because San Antonio was throwing so many bodies at Giannis, he is wide open for that. A good pass out.
Here's Champagnie. After starting off hot, he's missed his last couple 3 attempts. And Giannis into the front court again. We haven't seen many of those mid-range jumpers that he's gotten so much better at this year. Lopez in traffic.
10 assists in the first half.
Triple-double, and right now Milwaukee in the middle of an 8-0 sprint. Off the double drag is Chris Paul. Inside to Bassi with a great feed. The layup. Prince in transition. They've got numbers 4 on 3. Green with an easy.
90% of his shots are from 3-point range, and when you shoot it like he does, why take a 2? But that one you can't turn down.
11-point lead now for the Bucks. Champagnie around the world against Lillard. Good defense by Denver to get the stop.
Well, Milwaukee's really turned up the heat the last several possessions. Better ball pressure.
Prince for 3. And contact underneath.
15-point lead did San Antonio against Chicago. They went scoreless the last 3 minutes. A 10-0 Bulls run. Kobe White had 2 unbelievable plays down the stretch.
We've been alluding to in the improvement, the precipitous rise in efficiency by Giannis from the mid-range.
It just makes a tremendous weapon even more of a weapon.
Vassell left that short. The loose ball rebound comes out to Bassi. Barnes with another chance. Champagnie drives the closeout. Good. Antetokounmpo in transition finds Dame. Dollar.
So the scoring. You have, when he's in transition with the ball, you have to load up the lane. And that means he's going to be able to find his can shoot it. Obviously, Dame Lillard, one of the best scorers the NBA's ever known, can shoot it. So there's a lot of weapons to really help Giannis and space around him.
16-point lead for Milwaukee. Chris Paul for 3, knocks it down.
Aggressive, looking to score in addition to distribute. That 18 points he had against Chicago were huge.
Lopez missed everything, left it short. We're going to have a loose first 21 games of the season into a starting role sometime.
Alone double ankle surgery. But one thing that's been impressive about Middleton, he hasn't shot the ball over the last several games as well as he's capable, but his assists have been way up this year. He's averaging 5 assists a game over 12 games. I think the Milwaukee defense has been much more focused on ball pressure.
CP3 for 3, got it. Down to 11. Giannis the primary ball handler. Off the flat ball screen, pick and pop action with Lopez, gets it back against Wembanyama. Giannis downhill, got hung on the rim, then got peeled clean by CP3. Good defense by the Spurs. Paul lost the handle, retrieved it against Green. Sprays it out to Vassell for 3. CP3 battling underneath, but it comes off to Trent Jr. Antetokounmpo to Green, good catch. Green over Wemby. Oh!
What a shooting stroke A.J. Green has.
Castle trying to counter, and rebounded by Middleton on the move. Back to Green, pulls it, an audacious.
The Bucks in the first half. And they're going to get out to a big lead.
They've really responded. Vassell already. I'm guessing he might get a touch here. On the ghost screen, it comes to Trent Jr. instead. Now Giannis on the block against HB. Harrison Barnes.
Right hand that he got a few stitches in after that last game against Toronto. He had a chase down block against RJ Barrett and hit his right hand in between his ring finger and pinky finger, and it was bleeding the whole rest of the game.
Vassell, rim resistance at its peak. Giannis with the block. Wow, he canceled that flight.
But he's done everything in this game. Score, assists, blocks at the rim.
Middleton off the screen by Lopez. Playing with his food over Barnes. And it comes off. They'll get another chance. Lopez from deep. Got it! Back. It does in today's NBA. Castle at the buzzer. And that's